Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are back in the Bismarck B and we're going to have a little bit of fun. So without further ado, let's look at our commander. We're running Admiral Moist Critical, also known as Henry J. Hyde with a guise. You guys don't believe me? Oops. There you go. Alright, we are running Franz von Hipper and Haruna as our inspirations. We are running Flammable Cannoneer, Porcupine, Marksmanship, Master Mechanic, and Fight Fire with Fire. We also have Secondary Battery Mod 2. We are running Steering Gears Mod 2, Concealment System Mod, and we are running the Epic Secondary Battery Mod 3. So, with all of that being said, let's take this ship out and get into a fight, shall we? Alrighty, so you didn't think that we could have an HMS Hood video without somehow following it up down the road quickly with a Bismarck video, right? Two of the most, what is the word I'm looking for? Not prolific, notorious? Is that the word I'm looking for? Infamous. That's probably more fitting. Two of the most infamous ships from our history. They're intertwined forever in history in all of the wrong ways. And depending on which side you talk to, you're going to get a different response. But I think what we can all take from it is that in war, nobody wins. Period. It doesn't matter which side you're fighting on, nobody truly wins because you're going to have losses on both sides. And the people that are lost on both sides all deserve some level of respect. Right? Because at the end of the day, most people are just simply doing their job, doing their duty. They're doing what they're told to do because they have to, right? Their literal livelihood depends on it. And so, as humans continue to push into one another time and time again, just remember that whatever happens, whatever we decide to end up having, that things do have a tendency to eventually get better. Now, with that deep, thought-provoking, and somewhat... Really? Remember, folks, things always seem to get better. At this moment, not feeling like things are getting better. Speaking of, hello, Kagero. Let me get a shot here as he's reversing. We're going to take that shot over the island, and then we're going to leave him to his own devices. But unfortunately, Bismarck strikes again, or in this case, doesn't strike at all. But I've noticed that I have a couple of arch nemesis. Is it nemesis? Would that be the plural form of nemesis? Somebody's gonna have to let me know. But we have a couple of arch nemesis. I'm gonna use it because it makes me sound slightly smarter. In the form of an Atlantico, which just has better secondaries at every step of the way. And, of course, a carrier, which is, as the Bismarck would attest, one of its absolute worst possible scenarios that it can run into. And it's not just any carrier, it's the Parseval, with armor-piercing bombs. Not ideal if you're in the Bismarck, as we just demonstrated while he gets a Citadel and knocks out our engine, forcing us to damage control in front of a Saint-Louis, a Prinz Eugen, and the carrier. And an Atlantico coming around the island potentially in a moment. As I have to steer to try to get around the island, we look at the Saint-Louis again, because this Saint-Louis, he feels some type of... Oh, God. Okay, we're fine. We're fine! He feels some type of way about the fact that I slapped him earlier, and if he did, he's definitely feeling some type of way about now. Now, I don't know what this Saint-Louis did to deserve the Bismarck's wrath in this situation, but he's definitely getting it, because the Bismarck has reached out and slapped that man twice, and he has yet to learn his lesson. And worse than that, this man is going to go out of his way to come all the way around the map just for an opportunity to get a little bit of revenge on the Bismarck. Only time will tell if he gets said revenge. All I know is I'm in trouble. I don't know if you guys are counting everything out here as we citadel the Prinz Eugen as well. I know. Is this even the Bismarck? Like, good lord. We are a full secondary build Bismarck. And we are citadeling cruisers left, right, and center, hitting targets pretty consistently, getting close quarters medals. Like, this cannot be the same Bismarck. Oh, it's not. It's Bismarck B. Bismarck B just arguably seems better than the Bismarck. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just preference. But I like the Bismarck B better. But as we push around the corner, we have a enemy Bismarck that is just doing Bismarck things, sailing full broadside, letting the secondaries eat. And so we are going to do the same. Now, our Michelangelo has kind of sailed right out there into the open and gotten himself absolutely kerblastered. Again, like, you saw a battleship get kerblastered, and you're like, yes, anything you can do, I can do better. And you're wrong, Sunshine. You're just wrong. So as he pushes himself out into the open to be focused down by an Atlantico, a Bismarck, an Amagi, and a Scharnhorst 43, plus the carrier, we bid him adieu, because he's not going to be around too long. Ciao, actually, I think would be the proper term for an Italian. But anyway, we see the Parseval spotted for a moment, and I'm salivating a little bit because he's in range to be shot. But as he gets spotted again, we come around the corner. He's not in a favorable position for us to do a lot of damage, but I'm going to keep shooting him because reasons, right? It's a carrier. I want him gone. I'm in a Bismarck. We don't get along, all right? Carriers and Bismarcks, we don't like each other. It's an understanding. Most carrier players be like, but I digress, Spartan. I personally love Bismarcks. I bet you do. But anyway, as we continue to push around this flank, we are trying to limit who can engage us by also making sure that we maintain our shot at the Parseval. Now, those of you who are paying attention might be noticing that the Parseval is going to go dark here, and we're not going to get another shot. But you also may be paying attention to the minimap. And specifically, the part of the minimap where there are multiple battleships approaching. Now, good news is, all of the enemy destroyers are dead, so us losing our destroyer early didn't really matter a whole heck of a lot, because the enemy threw their destroyers away just as quickly. We have a destroyer left, and he is coming around behind the enemy carrier and the enemy team on that right flank. And that's when the San Luis, our good old buddy old pal, gets himself spotted once again, still broadside, and testing whether or not the Bismarck's accuracy is going to hold up. It is, just not yet. We get that textbook Bismarck just swing and a miss, and we move within secondary range of the San Luis, which is ultimately going to be his undoing. He gets a double fire. We're going to sneak in behind the island, and preferably I would like to go dark. Unfortunately, there's a battleship on the other side in the Scharnhorst 43, I believe, that has the guaranteed acquisition mod, RGA mod on it. Which means he's spotting me from 3 kilometers away. So I go ahead and I use my sonar to light him up, as well as anybody else that's within range of the Bismarck sonar. San Luis comes out, again, testing the broadside. Like, this man has not learned his lesson at all. Goes full broadside once again, gets away with it this time, gets his fire. I thought Scharnhorst was going to YOLO rush me here. He does not. Our secondaries are just yeeting away at the San Luis because, I mean, we're going to be able to damage him with them. So any of those shells that actually do hit him, specifically the 15 centimeter ones, are going to do some good damage. But our secondaries are going to be able to finish him off, getting our second close quarters medal of the fight. Now, obviously, he did try to torp me, so we simply move out the way. You know, that's the beauty of being able to turn your ship. When you launch torps from long range, it's pretty easy to dodge them. As Bismarck comes around the corner, and you can see the cruiser really wanted to torp me. But we managed to help take down the Bismarck as well. And that just leaves the Atlantico and the Scharnhorst 43 here. Now, some of you may be paying attention to the minimap and realizing that there's a battleship behind us. Others may be noticing the fact that we have the Picardy going full broadside to everybody that's left on this enemy flank, and so he's not long for this world. Unfortunate as that may be. Now we get a very good hit here on the Atlantico, and the secondaries are eating, getting some good fires out there as well. Remember, the biggest weakness of an Atlantico is fires. If you can set them, they better not damage control or they're gonna get set on fires, right? They don't, if they're running the secondary build, which this guy clearly is, they don't get the opportunity to put out fires with fight fire with fire. But the Scharnhorst does inevitably come around the corner with his YOLO Torp. We know we're going to get hit here, so we just want to do as much damage to him as possible. We get both of the rear guns away. Almost screwed that up, I ain't gonna lie. Somehow almost screwed that up. But we did manage to get both of the rear guns away, and we end up with only 5 fires done in 167 secondary hits. We did shoot down 9 planes, but we killed 2 people, got 3 citadels, and put up almost 150,000 damage. This match may not have been ideal, but it is a fun one in the Bismarck. Now, those of you looking at this Amagi right now probably going, well, Spartan, this Amagi didn't help you guys at all. He kind of just sat there, beached on the island for a while, and now he's going to have to fight everybody. And while you may be correct, you also, I think, are understating what this man was doing at the time, which was A, shooting at the enemy Amagi that's spotted out there all in his open, all the way out the border. But also, he was shooting at, there was another ship back there that he was shooting at as well. And I can't remember what it was. I want to say it was a cruiser, but I could be wrong. But anyway, the moral of the story is he wasn't being useless. And he's not going to be useless, and in fact, he's going to do the opposite of being useless. In fact, he's going to do quite well here at the end, and I want you to pay attention to what he's doing. First of all, angling effectively against enemy shells, something a lot of people don't do. Now, he does open up the angle here, goes for the rear turrets, obviously, and he's also putting an island between him and the torp threat, right? Knowing that the Scharnhorst 43 has torpedoes, trying to keep himself safe and give him an out so that he's not trapped in the event of torpedoes. Now, this carrier, if I had to say anything bad about anybody, and it's not that he did a bad job, because he really didn't, but if I had to say anything bad, it's like, why does the carrier go for the Atlantico in this situation instead of just going straight for the Scharnhorst and finishing him off? Look at how much health the Scharnhorst has left. Now, the carrier just dropped him, right? You can see that. He just dropped him, but he's going to kind of leave him alone, and I don't know why. He's in a good position. Look at the carrier's positioning on the map. He followed the team around the flank. He's in a good position to provide very quick turnaround times for his planes, which is something that most carrier players don't do. So, in and all of that, I have to say that the only thing that I would have done differently if I was him is kill that Scharnhorst. Right? Just get rid of him. Get rid of the torp threat altogether. Let this Amagi deal with the Atlantico and get rid of that torp threat. Now, in the end, it doesn't matter. Amagi does a fantastic job choosing targets, gets the beautiful broadside away, lands every single shell, I think, on that Atlantico. And if you're the Atlantico in this situation, why are you going broadside, brother? You are point blank against 410 millimeter guns and 10 of them. Why give your broadside up? You don't need to. If you angles even slightly, your secondaries are still going to absolutely chew this Amagi up. But he doesn't. He goes full broadside and he pays the price. And now, Amagi can go back and focus on the Scharnhorst. And you can see the carrier is dropping the Scharnhorst this time and gets a couple of good hits. But he would have killed him. Carrier missed out on an easy kill earlier and definitely could have killed him while the Amagi took care of the Atlantico. So I'm not sure what was going on there. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say he was probably just assuming that the enemy was going to, or the Atlantico was the bigger threat. I don't think that's the case, but, you know, is what it is. 146,000 damage, though, top of the leaderboard, 2,685 base XP. Amagi showing that he was being useful the entire match, even if it looked like he was beached broadside, not really participating. And then Kaga coming in there. Now, one funny thing is, you'll notice that our Kaga and their Parseval literally have almost the exact same name, and one of them is in a clan that is called Alt. Now, I'm not one to start conspiracy theories, but that seems a bit sus to me. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. And if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.